raiders may not follow orders, but they'll follow a bounty if it's high enough.
I wouldn't worry about other raiders that much. Raiders that much. Raiders that much. Raiders that much.
Shawnee told me about what you found. Something's changed. We've seen a lot more probes beaming across the skies. More crashed couriers. We've heard tales of what happens if they find what they're looking for. They might be myths, but I don't want us finding out the hard way. From the water that nourishes us, no matter the hazards, no matter the threats. If you've ever wandered the barren wastes, you'll understand why.
The character of Titus he's a young, aggressive, excited young man. He wants to be right in every situation. He wants to be the hero. When I prepared for that, I just drew from my own life, I think, especially because I can totally relate to the way he reacts to things. I tend to react and then go, oh yeah, this is probably what I should do in the situation. So that's kind of how he takes life and takes his life in this game. Well, Titus and Yuna, I think when they first start off, they're at two completely separate ends of the world. And they find out, I think, throughout the story that they have a lot more in common than they think. And she tends to be very calm and cool. And Titus is much more aggressive, much more excited. He's ready to go, and she's more of a thinker. But she teaches him so much. And it's really a love story, I think, between the two of them. That's what the essential storyline is his love for her and him discovering that love and vice versa. I think that Titus is driven by her being so calm and collected. It makes him more aggressive, and he seeks the truth even more, and he seeks to pull that excitement out of her. He wants to see her as excited about things and as energized as he is. And so I really tried to give some loving pushes to the character when they're in relationship with each other, to say, come on, let's go. Hey, you know, it's exciting. And she's like, okay, I'll get excited, but in my time. So there's like 9,000 lines of dialogue, which is really amazing. There is a lot of dialogue, which is really different from any other game that I've ever experienced. And on an average, there might be, like, say, for a regular animation thing, there might be 300 lines, I guess, total. 9,000 lines, so many different paths to turn in the game, and so many different ways to go. There's so much there. Well, there's some great, memorable moments in this game. For me personally, there's a scene where Yuna teaches Titus to laugh, because he's so serious and he's so set on his mission, and he gets so caught up in his emotions. And when he's laughing, it was fun to do, and it was fun to watch, because we actually did that to picture, where I got to watch Titus the character doing this and me adding to it, and so that was a lot of fun and very memorable. There's also some real emotional moments that are very memorable in it, where Titus finds out some information about Yuna that is shocking to him, and he has to deal with it, because he has no other choice but to deal with it. And if he wants to be a hero, he's got to take on these responsibilities and these emotions, and they're new emotions for him. But he handles them well, and it's a breathtaking scene as well. The animation in this, literally, when I first saw it, we had to spend some time where we had to stop for a while, where I was going, this is amazing animation. I kept just saying over and over, I can't believe this animation.
Basically, she is a summoner in a mythical land called Spira, and is being aided by some friends on a mission to defeat sin. This journey that she's on is one that her father did before him, and I get the sense it's sort of a generational obligation almost, as well as an honor. And it gives her this sense of duty, and that motivates her through most of the story. A duty, respect, honor, these are the things that are important to her. These are the things that I try to translate in a way to the voice of Yuna as well, but at the same time retaining the gentleness and femininity that is so apparent in the way that she looks. So it was an interesting little dichotomy I had to come to, finding a way to balance those two aspects out. She's this gentle yet forceful presence. I wouldn't say docile, because I don't get the sense that she backseats anything. She's very direct, very forthcoming with her opinions and her ways, but she doesn't have to be aggressive about it, abrasive. She does it in a way that leads others. She brings them to herself and to her journey, and that's evident with the friends that she has. Her companions, which actually more so than lieutenants and sergeants and things, they're her friends, and that's how it is. It's a very familial kind of energy that she exudes. Titus's character provides her with a whole new dimension that we haven't seen to Yuna before, which of course is the romantic dimension, and it fleshes her out, I think, than that extra part of her that we haven't seen that's a little more humanizing too, because up to this point we've only seen her duty-bound, her goal, to free the land from sin. I mean, we see her with her friends being, a little more human and a little more personable, but Titus really provides that womanly aspect to her, the romantic element that fleshes her out completely. I think you have to go into it with an actor head, because these mics and this whole system is so sensitive that every nuance to your voice is going to be heard, and you can't make your voice sound like you're thinking. You have to think, and then your voice will just do it. It's a lot more organic, I think, than we would initially assume, and it's even something that I've discovered as I go about doing this. So I try to relate myself to the character that I'm portraying. In this case, I relate myself as best I can to Yuna. I haven't saved the world lately, so that dimension of her escapes me a tiny bit. But what elements that are there that are very specific and human, and at the same time general and identifiable, I try to tap into those elements, think it through from that perspective, and then my voice reflects what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, without even trying. So when you force it, it's obvious. When you just do it, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for you and for the listener. If I had one thing I'd like the gamers to take away in this movie's experience, would probably be that, an experience. I want them to get lost in the story. I want them to get lost in these characters. I want them to forget they're playing a game. I want them to participate like they're right there, having it happen. And I hope that through our voices, through this animation, through this storytelling, we're able to just transport them into a completely different world. Right there in Spira.
With Oblivion, we were really fortunate to get some voice talent that people know to join us for the project, including Patrick Stewart, Linda Carter, Sean Bean, Terrence Stamp.
As for the rest, the weak shall be winnowed, the timid shall be cast down, the mighty shall tremble at my feet and pray for pardon. Your reward, brothers and sisters, the time of cleansing draws nigh. Weakness will be purged from the world, and mortal and immortal alike purified in the refiner's fire.
That gave me goosebumps. Terrence Stamp plays kind of he's the bad guy. Somebody who comes from a different line of kings, who wants to make this world his own. So he's kind of a priest. He's not a cackling maniac. We like to have our bad guys be a little grayer. We want that moment where the player goes like, maybe he's right.
You think I mock you? Not at all. In your coming, I hear the footsteps of fate. You tell me if I'm overdoing it, won't you?
Yeah.
Impossible. It's impossible to overdo it.
Yeah, it's kind of like he said while we were there. The character just came out of him. It's like a very serious voice. You know the guy at the other end of that is serious, you know.
But if a god can die, how does his heart survive?
But when we wrote this role, I called them and I said, they're like, well, who do you want for this role? And they'd give me a list. And I said, no, I gotta have Terrence Stamp.
Oh,
Like,
how
I don't know
wonderful.
if he does. I don't know if he's done a game. I said, I don't know if he has, but I think he's.
No, I mean, I wasn't unnerved, but when I got the FedEx last night with the script, and I looked at it and I thought, wow, I just don't know. I hope there's somebody there to tell me where to go, because I just had I didn't know, like, the area of it. Like, I didn't know the area of performance,
Right. So I look forward to, showing it to them and having them, I've never seen myself in that light. Just how well we can lip sync and put other characters on the screen.
Kneel before Todd.
You gotta put that in.
Smile when you ask questions like
Thanks. Thanks, Terrence.
Gentlemen, wonderful.
All right. While I'm doing that, one of the most interesting things that we see as we run across the country teaching this fantastic method is people continually say, I can't draw a straight line. I don't have the talent, Bob, to do what you're doing. That's baloney. Talent is a pursued interest. In other words, anything that you're willing to practice, you can do. And this is no exception.
Buenas noches. Thank you very much. I'm Fuck AI.